Hey there, viewers, fans, and subscribers, all the same, and welcome back to the Community Podcast and the Transformers community, here for you all on GameFAQs.com. Join with me next in my interview here across the vastness of our community is the second-gen leader of the Pride of Festoon, formerly of the Elite Overlord's Ground Forces, and presently of the Rebels of Kaon. My man here, AB-Jaigirdar11.
What's happening, guys?
AB, what is the deal? How have you been doing?
Yeah, Rod, I've been doing alright, to be honest.
Okay.
How about you?
Oh, I've been doing alright for the most part. A very interesting thing that recently happened in the community with a couple of my best dudes branching off from TAC, wanting to leave TAC and going off and making their own clan, and so I'm really happy for them, and I wish them all the best of luck in their successes.
Are you talking about Grimwave the King?
That's the one. That's my man.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it was a really hard initiative, but I stood behind him in his decision, and I wish him all the best in how his clan is going to try and come up in the community.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough, but I hope it works out for him.
Same. So, you ready to head up in our panel?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Well, question 1. What inspired you to make a difference in the communities you were a part of?
Well, initially, I would say that, when I first started out, I wasn't really, interested in, sort of making a difference in the community. I was just, doing my own thing, playing solos. But then, throughout the years, I would say that I began to sort of pass on what I know and spread the truth of everything that was happening. And because me, I feel like I'm a talented guy in the game, and I was just trying to support people who were trying to make a name for themselves, and the less known people in the community, I'd say.
Okay. So, I guess to put it simply, your disposition at the time vastly differs from what it is now.
Yeah, so I started playing the game in 2012, but it was only until, I'd say, late 2013 where I joined the clan scene, and where I started branching off and meeting new people. So, yeah, to making a difference in the community wasn't really on my mind, and it wasn't something I took it upon myself to do. But obviously, right now, my mindset is a lot different, and I would say I'm more aware of how my actions may influence things and what I can do to help people today.
Okay. Question 2. How has the online community affected you all around?
I've been playing FOC for about 5 to nearly 6 years now, I think, and I'd say I had to adapt to everything that was happening to me, and people, I don't know, they've been saying oh, AB's changed, AB's not the same guy, but I don't know, man, I'm still me, I always keep it 100, but people might say I'm a bit divisive, but I know, my circle know, my friends know, I'm a cool guy. But personally, I would say it hasn't affected me, but I would just say I'm more aware of everything that's happening, and like all of the experiences that has happened to me. It's just made me more wiser and more like level-headed, I'd say.
I got you. And it's not so much that you've changed, but it's just your view of seeing something has changed.
Yeah, partly because when I first started playing the game, you know, I was froggy. I was like, how do you call it? I was like enthusiastic. Like that was me. I was just someone learning his trade. But like right now, in this moment of time, I feel like I'm like a lot. I'm very accomplished, and like I've achieved a lot of things, and all of those like experiences that has happened to me, like it's made me the guy who I am today, like on FOC.
Yeah, it gave you like a really good status in the community about how you carry yourself, your business, your dealings, your friends, pros, cons, the whole shebang.
Confirmed.
Question 3. What is your stance on hackers and commonplace cheaters?
Well, my stance is that I'm completely against hackers and cheaters and modders and glitchers. Um, I don't know. I don't agree with people taking advantage of the mechanics and scripting of the game. It's completely wrong. Um, I don't know. Some people they agree with it and they're accepting of it, but I'm from the era where like if someone did that in your lobby, like you'd be targeted like for real. But like I feel like it could be said that like the community like it's gonna be soft in this moment of time. Um,
Because it's like a new element introduced in the environment where people are going to unusually be divided on whether or not to accept players that to accept players or hackers as players and accept them as a part of the community's sense of new normalcy, I guess, or how their lack of decency or commonplace decency is can affect the decorum of gameplay.
yeah,
If I said that right.
Previous guys who have done the podcast, they've said it like really well. So it completely, I'd say it completely ruins the fun for all of the other players who have to suffer as a result of their actions. And like we have to also consider that we're at a different, I'd say, life cycle of the game where cheating and hacking is becoming a lot more frequent. So we also like have to take that into account, and I'd say the players it's becoming a lot more like normal for them. But I don't know because I'm from that era like where hackers, glitches like they'll get properly hunted. So my mindset and my way of thinking is just it's different to a lot of the like newer players and somewhat current players too, I'd say.
And it's for good reason. I mean, older way of thinking is not a bad thing because there are in some cases, everything that is new or newer mindsets is not always a good thing. Older ways of thinking in a new or modern day perspective of things sometimes actually sheds light back to value.
Yeah, you're right. I've got friends from back in the day who they wouldn't agree with some of the stuff that's happening now. Like this year alone, we're seeing modding and people changing their colours. Like some people, they've even joined that clan, as you might know, which is a bit controversial to say the least. But yeah, man, it's a question like it divides opinion, and but like I say, I'm completely against it. It ruins it for a lot of the players, and it's not something that I would promote or encourage.
Yeah, I mean, it's not an easy question to really delve in on, because it is somewhat of relevant concern. What if it was to private use? If this would be a problem if it was in private use, like private use only, like it's supposed to be, if it's introduced.
Yeah, but I've seen I've seen um, I've seen scenarios where people do it for private, yet someone in that lobby records it and puts it on YouTube, and then you've created even a bigger problem, because now it's there for everyone to see. They might pick up on how to glitch or hack, and then just creates a bigger problem, and that's not what this game needs. This game, like, everyone who plays it, the majority of them are fans, they love the game, and it's a really cynical thing to experience and happen, basically.
Yeah. Question 4. Question reiterated. What is your stance on individuals that have had to bend the rules, seen or otherwise implied, to achieve a goal or prove a general point?
Would you be able to give me a scenario for that question?
Scenario, I guess in a sense, like I've elaborated it before in past podcasts. It's like giving a baby its bottle even though the baby's wrong.
Yeah, I would say, like, throughout my career I've witnessed some of these things, but in 2017, like, in this moment of time, I would say there's too much technicalities involved in what's happening. So I could give you an example, like, where
Go for it.
in the, like, I don't really want to talk about this, but in the 2016 final for the clan rankings, there was a lot of things that happened, and there wasn't, like, I wouldn't say like anyone bent the rules in that game, but there was a lot of debate and controversy, and like there was no way where a clan was right or wrong. I don't know. It's like,
Take your time.
how would I put this?
Okay, continuing from where we had last put this on here, I believe it had dropped briefly. I'm going to repeat my question. What was your stance on individuals that have had to bend the rules, seen or otherwise implied, to achieve a goal or prove a general point?
Yeah. So right now, in this moment of time, I would say there's too much technicalities involved, and there's still a lot of controversy involving clans, where like rules and all of that jazz. It's becoming a bit strange, like seeing it from different angle. Because, like, I don't know, people, some clans, they might use a sub for a game or two, like I don't know. I would say
Like personal gain?
yeah, not to use it for the personal game, but like also just try and make it a one-off. Like don't make it a regular thing, because just I would say it ruins the match for everyone else. And what must the clan's teammates be thinking if that's happening? Like, it's not a good thing to happen, I'd say.
Nah. Yeah, even I myself, I've been a part of those types of matches where I've had to call matches that are, for the most part, highly illogical. But because of a conflict of interest and either seizing too much time or not being or not falling back upon general practicality of how to make general clan battles or general leaderboard or combative protocol, then it becomes difficult to make a situation or make a call where somebody could be right and somebody could be wrong, and everybody, in a sense, has to suffer for one specific outcome, in a sense, where you almost gotta just, to avoid further conflict of interest, just give it to another person, or just say, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that could happen too. But if someone else were to bend the rules, then I don't know. Some people might say it's justified.
Yeah, and there have been those also in the community once upon a time where it's like, okay, you got this one rule or ruling or perspective that seems to slowly want to be a norm, even though it's not completely or morally correct, because not a lot of people are going to agree with it. The only reason why it's even a thing or considered a thing was because of this one past incident or series of instances where it came into question.
Yeah, I hear you. Yes, I agree with you. It's true what you're saying. Like, if one thing, if an event happens, it doesn't mean that it's the norm. So, or it doesn't give you license to like do it again. And yeah, I think you're right. I agree with you there.
Okay. It's just one of them controversial,
it's one of them things, yeah.
realizations. Did you want to go further in on the question, or you got your point across?
Yeah, I think I got my point across there.
Okay. Question 5. Does leaderboards hold sentimentality for you?
I've seen the other podcasts, and some of them said no, some of them said both, some of them said yeah. For me, it's only in CTF. You know, in CTF, like that's the only one for me. It's everything else doesn't matter. Like I wouldn't say I grinded, but that was my favorite mode. I love playing it. Like, I made a lot of friends from that mode. And I'm proud to say I got in the top 10, and I'm still there. Like, what was it? I played something like 4,000 games with 3,000 wins.
Sounds about right. Because you still hold your position on leaderboards today.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think it's top 10, if I'm right.
Mm-hmm.
But then again,
I think
it's top 10.
That, and I think you might be on Conquest as well. I'm not sure.
Nah, I don't think so, bro.
You sure?
But nah, I didn't. Like, I'd say 75% of the time I would play CTF.
I don't blame you. It's a good game mode.
Yeah, man. That's where I got a lot of my talent from. And obviously, like, sadly, that leaderboard got hacked, and everyone moved down the place.
That is unfortunate.
Yeah, but the main catalyst for me for like continually playing that mode was because someone else in the top 10, who I won't name, he started getting a bit arrogant and got, let's say, happy when he passed me, and like I just like I kept on climbing, a few thousand points here, a few thousand points the next day, and yeah, man, like right now we can just say who's laughing now, because I'm ahead of him, and it doesn't look like the board's going to change anytime soon.
Nah, the point gap between rank 20 and rank 21 on a number of those leaderboards is a vastly high margin. The only one that has a chance of shifting hands again is probably either team deathmatch or player kills, which surprisingly, with a couple of older faces from PS4 coming back into the scene here and there on PS3, has astonishingly happened.
Yeah, I know, and what's funny is that guy I'm talking about is in the top 10 too. But I don't know, that guy went missing. No one's talking about him now. He's, Lord knows where he is. But yeah, man, I don't know. I haven't calculated this, but I feel like, well, I don't feel like, but I've got a hunch that my score, or like my stats, I think I've got something like the best win-loss ratio, like in the top 20, I think. And like when you consider everyone's playtimes, I think like I did myself justice, and like I think it shows like I'm a top 10 at least, like CTF player.
I could believe that.
And I'm fortunate enough to like share that top 20 with a lot of my friends, like Ethan, Omega, Z, like guys like that. Nump 2, who else? I think Sonic was top 20 back in the day, but it might have slipped out. But yeah, man, I spent a lot of days like playing with those guys in public. In the afternoon, like 6s on 6s, like everyone was level 25s. It was just crazy. It was just crazy, like. So I would say that's where like all of my skill came from. Like that's what ultimately like helped me become the player I am today.
That's the beauty of playing with friends, actually, is because when you're playing online with friends, competitively or for fun, it helps enrich the joy in improving your gameplay and playing online with friends. And you get better just by being in that normal, carefree environment, however long the series of sessions may be. It helps in more ways than one.
Yeah, you're completely right there. I agree.
Because encouraging a lot of friends to play together is all a part of the steps in combative growth and in friendship and in growth of friendship throughout the community as the time does go on.
Yeah, but even like when I was wolfing for a lot of the time, like I could tell you like guys like Bureau Net, Trollface, Golo Tusado, who else? Oh yeah, Prey's another one. Yeah, he's a good friend of mine too. He's in the top 14, I think.
Pray for your life. No, we know Prey.
Yeah, man. Do you want me to like share a little secret with you?
Sure. Tell us about the Master Scout Man.
There was a point in time where his Titan was actually better than mine, and I still think like today, my opinion is that he's the best all-rounder in the game.
Prey ran a really good Titan back in the day.
Yeah. What actually caught my eye was his scientist. That was really like was one of the best. I'd say it's up there with Gunsman.
I'll say. I went head to head with his Scout, and that's almost unmatched. I've never seen such a powerful scout play before. Like, the man never missed a shot. Never missed a single shot.
Oh yeah, I wanted to say, on Ethan's last podcast, I remember he was talking about a guy like who would always go for the flag. His name was Trollface.
That's who that was?
Yeah.
What a name! Like, Trollface.
Yeah, man, that guy was a legend, honestly.
Man that could get himself all the way to the flag and capture it every single time. It's not successful or unsuccessful, but he was assured he could get it every single time. You find a way to get it up in there.
Yeah, man, I loved having that guy in my team.
Oh, man. He sounds like he was like one of the best team players there ever was.
I don't know. I disagree. I'd say he just fought for himself, but what he done was remarkable. And I don't know. Maybe somewhere down the line, I can actually like go into more detail about CTF and all of the players I played against. Because I think that would be an interesting discussion. If you get other community players too, I think that would be something special.
That sounds like it would be nice just to sit and talk about capture the flag. Because team deathmatch is actually something that speaks for itself, so I don't really have to go too much into that one.
Or you could, alternatively, you could do the same for Conquest as well. Like guys like Talk, Mr. Green. Like I think, like even me, like I think it would benefit me to hear like what they have to say on that mode. It would just be really, really good.
That could be doable, because on PlayStation 4, whenever I do Rainbow Six Siege or Ghost Recon, I actually play with Mr. Green's son, the one they call Katsu. It's a really nice kid.
Really? Mr. Green's still about?
Yeah, Mr. Green's still out there, because just out of nowhere, when I was playing with him playing with Katsu last month, it was like, hey, my dad walked in, and it was like, do you want to talk to him? I was like, yeah, sure. And then he came on the mic, and he was just like, yo, it's this Rodimus, Rod86 from back on WC. It's like, oh, you better believe it, Green boy. How you be, Mr. Green? It's like, oh, I'm doing alright, man, just surviving, living the struggle. Hope we get a chance to play again sometime. It's like, I would like that for nothing more in the world.
Yeah, man, he was a quality player, man. He definitely deserves that #1 spot on Conquest.
Yeah, you talk about the one of the masters of escalation. That's the main man right there. And the headmaster of Conquest. I mean, that guy's scientist must have been like for real.
Yeah, his scientist was quite good, but I'd say like his knowledge and his skill and knowing like where to go and what to do was top class, man. I've got nothing but compliments to say about the guy. Like he was top draw.
Same. And like after a whole year, finally just meeting the guy out of nowhere like that late night. Oh man, that was worth it. That was a good night. I had a good night's sleep that night.
Yeah, I bet you did.
Yeah, we get a chance to meet somebody from the old days.
Yeah, a little while ago, I managed to find a few guys I used to play CTF with in like 2013, and I talked to them a bit. It was crazy, man.
Oh wow.
Yeah, man. So I ain't spoken to them in 4 years, and like what was fascinating was like they sort of remembered my PSN, and that was cool. Like,
that's nice. Yeah, it's not hard to forget it. Yeah. It's just hard to spell it sometimes.
Yeah, I need to change my. I might need to change my PSN soon.
No, Only if you want to. I mean, it's something. It's a name that's just been iconic to you for a long period of time.
Yeah, I've got another one on PS4, but I might make another one too, in addition to that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah, but yeah, man, CTF, like, you can't get more homegrown than me, like, from that mode. Like, I lived that everything good about me came from there. Like, I was lucky enough to play with some of the best players, and it's a shame, like, you can only play TDM these days, because I don't know, personally, I think CTF brought, like, brought the best players, while Conquest was a close second in my eyes.
And the more I played the game, the more I can easily see how you're correct on that, and you're correct on that in more than one way. Because capture the flag is it's just so much more to offer than just a 40 kill stack.
Yeah, definitely. But like, at the same time, they were also kill farmers, and I had to just shut them down. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a different type of thinking process that goes into capture the flag and in conquest. Question number 6. Have you had the chance to play for a clan or gaming group of friends?
Yeah. Throughout my career, I've played for about 6 clans. So PF, EO, ROK, ROT, MOD, and ACW.
6.
Yeah. But for me, the highlight has got to be playing for the Pride of Festoon. That's, like, I think I've had some of my best years, like, in my career. I've had some of my best years there. We won the CPO. We were the first team to beat LSE, and in 2016 we finished top of the rankings. And like, what was so satisfying was that it started off as just a group of friends, but then it became something a lot more. And we became arguably, like, the best clan on FOC. But I'm also grateful for the 5 other clans I've been with. You know, MOD, that's where I started. I learned my trade. EO, that was the first actual clan battle. While in MOD, that was my first, like, sort of tournament game I played in. But yeah, man, I've got nothing but positive to say about all the clans I've played for. I don't think I've ever left a clan, but because of circumstances, like, if a clan disbands or merges, like, that's what's happened to me. So I wouldn't, just because I've joined 6 clans in about 5 years, I wouldn't say I'm the type that clan hops. Like, I'm a loyal guy.
Oh, no.
But yeah, man, I'm really happy. Like, I got to meet some great people, and like, where I'm at right now, or okay, like, I feel like things are only going to get better. And even though, like, with ROK, I never really knew anyone when I first came there. I'm really fortunate and happy with the way it's turned out, because like, all of those guys there, they're quality guys. And I'm just like, I'm humbled, like, to be in the position where I am right now.
I look forward to seeing what type of new success that they have on the horizon, and what new feats will be attained that will be on the horizon and on the horizon impending.
Yeah, man, it's an exciting project.
Yeah. And since you have had the chance to play for a lot of the different clans, as you mentioned, How has the clan scene evolved your perspective on being associated with the community?
How do you mean by that?
By being involved in the clan scene, because there are sometimes where just playing a game can also change your mind, and being involved in the clan scene on said game can also evolve your perspective on how you see the community, or your interactions with people, or even how you choose to play the game.
Do you mean like during my career, how the clan scene has like changed and evolved?
In a sense, yeah, because it sounds like, because you said you came in at 2012 and then you hit the clan scene at around 2013. So for from my point of view, for the first year starting in, you were non-affiliate to any particular group, and then from 2013 onward, it's been the community in addition to the clan scene, if not the clan scene predominantly. And so, would you say that your perspective evolved or changed or adapted from being introduced to a competitive level in gameplay? AB, you there? AB? A, B, C, D, there. Ooh. Oh, it's like the call had dropped somewhere here.
Yeah, the thing is, I could actually hear you like calling me, but I couldn't. I don't know. It wasn't answering for some reason.
Hey, yeah. Okay, well that's all right. We can pick up right from where we have left off. Do you recollect what my last question was?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, from how the clan scene had evolved your perspective on being in the community.
hmm
Do you feel like it has evolved your has it? Do you feel like it has evolved your viewpoint?
Um, I would say definitely my viewpoint has changed. Um, when I first started in the clan scene in 2013, I was just hoping to impress. I wouldn't say I was the finished article at the time because I was far from it. Um, in public, I used to get dominated by other guys like Sadie, whose Titan was better than me at the time. But now, like most people, like they can probably tell who's a better player now. I can overcome him when he's yeah, man. Whenever I see him, like, it's a different ball game now. But yeah, man.
Sadie's a good opponent.
Yeah, especially like when I was first trying out, he's been playing the game for a long time too, and he's got leaderboard stats to prove it. And
That he has.
so yeah, I would say it's definitely changed. As I said in 2013 when I first started, it's my whole mentality and thought process is completely different. I feel like back then I was protected almost by better players, so I wasn't really reliant on getting results. I was just slowly getting brought in by like my clan leader at the time, who was pro. But I'd say even in when I was in EO where I played that clan battle against DMG, I wasn't at all the best player there. I was still learning and still I was still learning, yet I was glad with the opportunities I got to face like such a great and established clan like DMG, who on that day they proper brought it, and like you can see how good they've been over the years. But overall, I'd say the way I see the clan scene has changed, and I feel like as I've grown and become a better player, I think there's been a certain level of expectation for me to perform, and it's been tough to continue and maintain that high level of performance in every CB and every time like my clan needs me. It's been tough. Like I empathize with I empathize with clan leaders, and I empathize with skilled players too, because it's tough. Like even in like tough situations where you're losing, like it's hard to dig in and grab the match by the scruff of his neck, because it's tough. Like
I know where you're getting at. There's a lot of situations like that I've been put into, willingly or forcibly, and they force your hand, and so you got to try and think of something on the spot, or you got to play your trump card.
yeah, and like I said, it was when you're, I don't know, when you're even like a normal player who's in a clan, it's difficult to maintain that consistency. And even with me, like I've been going hard for like the last 2 or 3 years, and I'm not gonna lie, it's been tough. But yeah, man, I embrace the clan scene. I'm happy with the level of competition I've faced over the years. But right now, in 2017 and at ROK, I'm sort of settling down now, and I'm not really like involved as much as I should be, and that could be down to me not really publicizing my intent to like 1v1 people, because like back in the day I would do a lot of private matches and 1v1s against friends and just general guys who wanted to face me. But now, I don't know, I'm sort of maybe seen as a older head, and like right now I'm just enjoying it, because recently my disc hasn't been working, so right now I'm like
Touch and go.
yeah, yeah, it sort of is, but I'm also like cherishing the time I have left as well, because I've basically done everything there is to do in the clan scene. Like I've won the highest things you could win against like the best teams. So right now, in my mind, I feel I've accomplished a lot of things. But right now, for me, it's like I have to pass on what I know to like all the newer players, and just try and give my experience to ROK and help them achieve big things.
I hear what you're saying. And so it evolved I can see how it evolved your perspective in the community, because it evolved it from someone who's been in the clan scene long enough to where you can pass on what you know to the next clan or the next gen clans in order to help them become that next big thing, because you were a part of past clans that were the big things of their time.
Yeah, not even that, but like because me, I don't know, it's a bit strange, because like when I first started playing FOC, it was like for fun, but then a few years later I'm suddenly like training a couple guys, so it was a bit of a strange experience for me. But yeah, I see what you're talking about, and I would say, like, to sum it up, my thought process and my mentality has definitely changed, and I have taking it a lot more seriously than when I initially started out.
And that's understandable. Because, I mean, there's some of those that have done that, some that have not. It's fine to take the game seriously, but you don't want to take the game seriously to a point where it's like everything depends at all costs for dear life if something doesn't happen. Because it pays at the end of the day to pull yourself out of it when you realize that it is just a game at the end of the day.
Yeah, I completely hear what you're saying, but
Yeah.
also for me it was like, for me the fun came with winning. Like, I wasn't a machine like barking all orders at my clan. I I enjoyed winning, and I enjoyed the competition, and like to progress, like for me to progress, it was just, it was, I don't know, it was really cool, and like, yeah, man, it is what it is.
That's true, and what it is something very wonderful. Question 7. What's more important to your perspective on enjoying the adventure offered in the gameplay? Friendship or power?
I've had a little think about this, to be honest, and I would say both, because it's important if you're someone new joining the community. It's like, it's important to have a reliable, good and loyal like group of friends to chill with and play with, and even outside the game, like talk to. I think that's important for any player, regardless of your skill, or regardless of your skill level and your experience. But at the same time, like power in the sense of like how powerful a clan is, that became of more importance, I'd say, towards the latter stages of my career. So like at PF, you could say like we were a really powerful clan, and like we had skilled players, but at the same time, those skilled players were also my friends. So that's how I would answer that question.
Okay. Started out with perspective of both, and then over time, as the years went on, then it dwelled more towards the friendship.
Um, I would say it's the other way around. I started off towards more friendship, like learning my trade, people, like playing with people in public. But yeah, as things got more competitive, I'd say the element of power came into it as well.
Oh, okay.
But for me, I believe it's important to maintain a balance of both, because otherwise, like if you're in the competitive scene and you're leaning towards like friends, then it might not necessarily benefit your clan. But at the same time, if you're leaning towards power, then you might start to lose friends, and I don't know, the people around you might not believe the game's fun anymore, and you just want to try and find the middle ground between the two, I would say.
A balance of both. That, that does sound pretty realistic. It is doable. It just depends on the person's mindset, or the mindsets of those that first trek into the world for this thing.
Yeah.
Question 8, and this will be my final question on the panel. What is your advice to the newer generation of players seeking a great online adventure to be had?
I checked out Ethan's podcast the other day, and I believe he summed it up really well. Like, but for me, to the new players, I would just advise them to be themselves, but also be aware like of the company you keep, because sometimes they might not turn out to be the guy you think they are. But at the end of the day, FOC it's just a game. It's not real life, but it's important. You do have a positive time and a good time, because I know people, friends and people I've talked to, they've like, because of all the negativity and all of the drama, it's the fun and the game is sort of been a turn off for them, and like that's not what anyone wants to see. We wanna have fun. We wanna be competitive, but we gotta understand that there's a limit too. So, to sum it up, I would just, if I was talking to a new person or a new player, like, I would just advise them to be themselves, be enthusiastic, but remember, like, it's just a game, and it's your right to enjoy yourself, and make sure no one takes that away from you.
That sounds like a good, wholehearted word of encouragement to pass on to the next gen. Okay, and that's I can see. And with that, my viewers, that does conclude our podcast segment. AB, again, I thank you for having.
Yeah, Rod, it's been a pleasure, like, giving a insight into all of my experiences and what I've got in my mind too. So yeah, thanks again for letting me, like, do this interview. It's been great.
Oh, always.
Yeah, man. I've seen
yeah,
the podcast, and big up Ethan, big up Talk, big up Strats, and big up Storm for their podcast too, because it's only helping the community as well. So yeah, man, big up and love, man.
Oh, I thank you. I try to reach out where I can and try and speak out with who's still around in the community or who I'm still able to try and reach out to. And with a lot of contacts I've been able to make over the past year, 2 years, between WFC, FOC, 1 or 2 on Darkspark, a few people actually on Destiny, and a couple people from back on my early stuff in playing Borderlands. I was able to make a lot of good contacts and make some good calls. And then having made my extension to GameFAQs.com really helped in like getting this launched.
Yeah, man. Everything you're doing is cool, like.
Yeah, so I look forward to seeing whoever else it is I'm able to sit down and have a nice reflection on of the past and reflect on a lot of the history that had happened in the community once upon a time. And on that note, my friends, we do part ways for now until our next podcast sitting in the community. You guys have a good one. And as always, till all are one.